I offer a motion to approve the agenda with the added amendment under new business of item number 4 to consider changing the time of the December regular meeting.
Okay, we have an addition to this agenda, and that was in the form of a motion, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Watson, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay. The next item on our agenda will be to approve minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes. We have a September 12th workshop, a September 13th regular meeting, as well as an October 24th call meeting. Everybody's had an opportunity to review those minutes. Is there a motion to approve or any changes or deletions?
Chairman? I'll second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Spratt. Any further discussion on the minutes? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next item on our agenda, we'll move into visitor presentations. We have several, so we'll get started. The first one is Miss Alberta Mabry of 701 Franklin Street, and she wants to talk to us about senior issues. Miss Mabry?
Good morning.
Good morning.
To every one of you. I'm here today to talk about our trip. You know, every year the seniors take a trip to the Capitol. We're there in February, and in January we have a rally. And I wanted to find out if you guys could help us financially. Ms. Lovett has looked into getting some buses, and they're willing to match whatever you guys, could come up with. And we would appreciate your financial help.
So you're here requesting?
Requesting, yes.
Okay.
Begging. And I'm wearing my sign, be there for seniors,
All right. Is there any idea of what these buses are going to cost? Do you have a budget? Do you have any requests in mind?
Well, I think she said the bus was $2,300, and they were going to sort of like maybe match half of that. But we would need the bus fare, and we would have to go up a day in advance because the meeting starts early in the mornings, so we would have to stay over. So we would need, hotel and bus.
Okay. Yeah, I do. I was going to see if any commissioners had any questions, or if Ms. A maybe had anything else before I would refer over to the county manager.
That's an ad.
All right.
Well, thank you. I've been doing my job anyway. My big concern here is that what we're doing is we're contributing to a political rally, is basically what it is. And I think that's inappropriate for governmental funds. I think if it was, if it was something that the Senior Citizen Center was sponsoring that we endorse and contribute to, that's one thing. But for them to go to the state capitol to endorse and lobby for issues, they're lobbying our legislature literally. And I think it's a good thing, but I don't think it's a good thing or a proper thing for the county to be paying for.
Now, I didn't recall us funding it in the past, but before I spoke, I wanted to find out.
Well, okay, then what's the difference between the CRC and the county? I mean, they're going to be sponsoring.
But the CRC isn't bound under the Constitution to certain issues like we are. We're, I can't speak for them certainly, but the county is bound under the Constitution and something called a gratuities clause. We really can't just give away our money. On top of that, there's clearly a lobbying effort. What they're doing, it's a good thing. The seniors are going to the Capitol to say, hey guys, we want to be recognized. We want you to pay attention to our issues. And that in effect is literally lobbying the legislature. And I would have great concern about county contributing to that as a government.
Well, I am very, very disappointed. Because we, like I said, we need to be there because that's how we get things done.
Oh, I understand. And you're exactly right, and I applaud y'all for what you're doing. But I don't think the county, as a governmental agency, can contribute to it. That's all I'm saying. I think it's a great thing, and I think we all pull a dollar out of our pocket and give it to you. But you know, as far as the government being able to do that, it can't happen. No.
That's a very sad thing. Yeah. And the other thing that I would want to say is I wanted to give a good shout out to our emergency management and the health department on the excellent job that they did during the hurricane and with the evacuation.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
I praise them highly, and you must get out more information so that other people can be aware of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ms.
Ms.
Mabry. Okay. Next person on our presentation list is Mr. Richard Johns, John Richards. Excuse me. Mr. John Richards, 2408 Dallas Bluff Road, to report to the Commission on the Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities.
Thank you very much for the commission finally invited me to present. Again, I would want the commissioners to understand that, one, you appointed me, again, by law, which I furnished you copies of the law, and I was solicited out of Atlanta as a result of the major changes in the state of Georgia in regards to the delivery of mental health services and developmental disability services. There was nobody serving, and the law clearly requires people to be appointed by the county commission based on population to keep the county commission advised as to the condition of the state and our citizens in regards to receiving services. Now, I met with my commissioner, Bill Watson, and for a couple of hours and arm twisted him to try and make him understand the very difficult issue of mental illness and developmental disability. Nobody really wants to talk about that. I mean, that's a real stigma in our society from the standpoint. But again, I would remind the commissioners that I serve at your pleasure. I work for you and the citizens in this county. Nobody can fire me but you. Nobody can replace me but you. So again, as an advocate and a 20-year staff member of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, I've been working most of my retired life trying to help people in McIntosh County. Commissioner Jordan knows me well. He served on the Gateway Community Service Board with members of my National Alliance on Mental Illness Board of Directors. So again, I'm well known by a number of people. Stephen Jessup is a personal friend of mine, and he used to be the chair of the Gateway Community Service Board. And I think highly of him in regards to his understanding of the problem. So what it is, as an appointee by you to the new regional advisory councils that serve in all 6 districts of the state of Georgia, of which there are 159 counties and 34 counties in our area. McIntosh County being one of the smaller demographics in this area of the 34 counties, or slightly more than 14,000 citizens, I would remind the commissioners that 1 person in 4 suffers from mental illness at any given time. So you do the math. And what I do in regards to my particular mission and responsibility is I make myself available to the citizens of this county that are dealing with these issues, both mental illness and developmental disability, and help them navigate a very, very broken system. It's underfunded and understaffed, and we are currently in the 7th year of the initial 5-year Attorney General's mandate to improve things. At the end of 5 years, it became obvious that the state of Georgia had failed. So Judge Pinnell laid another 2 years on Governor Deal and says, you will either improve your treatment of the mentally ill and the developmental disability, or the federal government will take action. I don't think we need that. We need to take care of our own people. But my purpose, serving on the Regional Advisory Council and now the Leadership Council for all 159 counties, is to inform the new commissioner about the shortages and what we need, and also to inform you about the needs of the citizens in this area, who more often than not do not know the first thing about how to react whenever they have a family member with mental illness or developmental disability, and they're not receiving services. Now, the state of Georgia spends over $1 billion with a B of our dollars to provide services, and quite obviously they're failing, because Judge Pinnell, the federal judge, has told the state, you know, you people have failed. Governor Perdue signed an agreement. He failed at it at the end of 5 years. We're under a new 2-year mandate through 2018. I'm sorry to say the state will fail again, because there's just not enough money and not enough willingness to address the issues of citizens who have a disease process that require professional services, and for whatever reason, you know, our state has failed over and over again to do the right kind of things for our citizens. My concern is the 14,000 citizens primarily in McIntosh County. I need them to know that I'm available to help them navigate the system, and we report twice a year to the commissioner and the governor in regards to the shortages and the needs of our citizens. So again, this is a case of your appointment of me is a reappointment, because years ago I also served whenever we had the regional planning board, and I served them representing McIntosh County. Now, I'm a retired Army Master Sergeant, and I hope you won't hold that against me. And I also retired from the Department of Defense. My wife and I and our family have lived down here in Dallas for 35 years. I'm one of the Masonic orphanage boys. So from 1942 on, I was coming down here from Macon. So I consider this my home. So I'm well connected with the needs of our citizens here, and I will do whatever is necessary in order to represent the needs of our citizens. Primarily, I need to keep you informed. I hope eventually you will see the need to invite me to one of your work sessions so I can give you a more detailed report about what's going on. Several weeks ago, I sent you a letter, and I asked you to tell me how you would like my reports, in what format, and how often. Because again, that's part of my responsibility. You appoint me, I need to report to you. I need to tell you what's going on. I'm considered the smartest mental health advocate in the state of Georgia, and I've been doing this for a lot of years. So again, you know, you need to let me serve you and the citizens, and I need your support to do that. Hopefully you will also support me in getting the newspaper to publish PSAs, so the citizens will know that I'm available to them. Again, mental illness and developmental disability is something that's kept undercover. People don't like to talk about it. There's stigma applied to it, and we need to get past that. I remember talking to Bill Watson in his home for a couple hours, and finally at the point, I asked Bill, I said, Bill, you got a daughter, right? If she develops schizophrenia, would you want anybody to know about it? And it kind of stopped him in his tracks. He thought about it a minute. He said, you're probably right. I probably wouldn't want people to know that. That's the problem. It's a disease process. We need to recognize it and treat it. We do not need, you know, something happening to one of our schools where 20 children are killed because somebody failed to receive treatment. Those are the kind of things that can happen in any county, and it happens all too often. So again, I'm here to serve you. Again, like I say, I'm a long-term resident. I plan to die here. My family's all buried in the Shelton Bluff Baptist Cemetery, just waiting on me to show up. So I'm 80 years old, and I don't know how I can serve. But at some point in time, you know, I'll serve at your pleasure, and if you decide that I'm not providing the services to the citizens, replace me. Or if you decide, well, this guy's too old, he can't do the job, we just need to find a younger guy. So again, like I say, I'm here to serve you, and I'm very humble about the fact that, again, I want to do what I can to give back to society, because that's what I'm here for. If you have any questions, I'll answer them now. If not, I hope you invite me to one of your work sessions.
John, how does someone contact you? If
Well,
someone
again,
has
that's part of the problem. Again, I'm well-known National Alliance for Mental Illness. I mean, unfortunately, the problem that we've had in this area is we have the only community service board, which is one of the 25 contract agencies to the department to provide services. We're the only area in which we've had our community service board, Gateway, failed 3 times. Nobody else in the history of Georgia has ever had that happen. So again, that's a case of, in the rural areas, we struggle to make sure that people understand that the services are there and the professionals are there. It's not that they're bad people. It's just the system that's so damn complicated that nobody understands it. But I do. I think I do. So again, I'm here to help people navigate the system to support them. I currently work with 5 families right now in McIntosh County. At the last Leadership Council meeting, they've established a number of CSUs, Crisis Stabilization Units, in lieu of hospitals, and 5 of our citizens, were in the CSUs at this last report period. So again, it's not like our folks are not suffering, but unfortunately, too many of them are suffering, and they don't realize how to get help, and they kind of hide it at home, and that's a shame. So again, it's, treatment works if you can get it, if you know how to get it. And that's what I can do. I can help people navigate this system. And when the navigation breaks down and the system doesn't work, make no mistake, as a retired master sergeant, I know how to throw a hand grenade or two. And I've done it in the past, and I can do it again because it's about the citizens. It's not about the governor or the commissioner or anybody else. It's about our citizens.
Can someone just call you?
Someone can just call me.
Well, you never know.
But again, somehow or another, we need to make that known to everybody. I know Bill invited me to present to his Rotary, and I did that. So again, it's a case of I'm available. I'll go around in the Lions Club or anywhere else and make presentations, which is what I do all the time. I'm also a certified CIT instructor for law enforcement, crisis intervention team training. I teach at the police academy. So I do a lot of things in regard to making sure that our law enforcement officers understand how to deal with people with mental illness and children with autism and stuff like that. So again, it's what I do as an avocation all of my life. So again, it's a case of my 6 family members, 4 of them died with core mental illness. So again, I'm well motivated to do that. And if anybody's ever watched the movie The Last of the Mohicans, you're talking to Chief Kindershade right now. And I'm the last one of my family, so I'm not obligated to anybody.
John, do you have a phone number?
Yeah, my phone number
What
is,
is the number they call?
they can call 832-5462. I live up at Dallas Bluff, on the marsh, backed up against the water, like a good old master sergeant. And, but I stay busy attending regional advisory council meetings and going to leadership meetings in Macon and trying to find a way, because unfortunately, we don't have a board of directors anymore in the various CSBs. The governor, under the new House Bill 512, decided to return things to centralized control for 2 Peachtree Street in Atlanta. Well, I guess centralized control may be a good thing, but I don't think they can see McIntosh County from Atlanta. So again, it's important for us to do what we can to help our folks. But again, if anybody wants to call me, I'm available. I don't do anything but advocacy. I've got a decent retirement, and I live there with my 4-legged black lab on the water and just enjoy things tremendously. So again, If people will just come to me, I'll help them any way I can.
Thank you.
And it's not that they don't need help. 1 person in 4 suffer from mental illness, and 1 person in 12 suffers some form of disability other than mental illness. So again, there's a lot of folks out there in the 14,000 people of McIntosh County that need help. So I'm here to do what I can.
Mr. Richards, we appreciate you being here today, and we, first and foremost, we appreciate your service to our country and to our citizens of this county. We appreciate you. And you are welcome to attend our workshops anytime. If you want us to set something up, if you want it to be once a quarter, a couple times a year, it's up to you. Our workshops are open, and we'd love to have updates from you. I would encourage you to work with our staff as far as public service announcements. They'll be glad to help you get that stuff out and get the people informed on the services that you offer, that we offer through you and through the state. And we do appreciate you, okay? And we appreciate you being here today.
Real good. I'll get with my county commissioner from my region and start this negotiation. And I want you to know I appreciate the services you folks do, because it's a tremendous responsibility. And there's nothing easy about being a county commissioner, I feel sure. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. All right, the next person on our agenda is Kate Gooch Coolidge, recruiter for Troy University, Troy Community Spirit Program. How are you today?
I'm well, how are you guys?
Good, thank you.
Good, thanks for having me. So I'm, like you said, I'm with Troy University. Troy University is a public university, state of Alabama. We have a traditional campus in Troy, Alabama. I'm sure y'all heard of it. Troy State, used to be Troy State. We also have a global campus. Our global campus caters to people that are non-traditional students, people that are working. We have a site in Brunswick. We have, what we want to do is do this community partnership with McIntosh County employees, give them an added benefit. They can take classes in Brunswick, or if they prefer, they can take classes online. They don't have to come to Brunswick if they don't want to. Or they can do a hybrid. We offer associate's degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and if they're really feeling like they want to do a little bit more school, we have a couple doctorates too. So we would love to have this partnership with McIntosh County. We have it currently with Glenn County and with the city of Brunswick. So we would love to just extend that over here.
We do have an item on our agenda to take action on this under new business, so we will be voting on this in just a few minutes. So, but we do appreciate you being here and presenting to us today.
Wonderful. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Does anyone have any?
No?
Do you want to go over the benefits that the employees will get?
Yes, they will, their application fee, there'll be no application fee for them. Currently, for an undergraduate, it's $30. For graduate, it's $50. That would be waived as being part of the partnership. They would also get a 10% discount on tuition, which is really nice. And, we would do all the work for you. I mean, you guys wouldn't have to do anything. The staff wouldn't have to do anything, we'd take it.
Are there in-state, out-of-state tuition grading or what's?
There are not, that's a very good question. No out-of-state tuition. Right. For our global campus, there's one tuition price. If you wanted to go, feel like your child wanted to go to Troy in Alabama for band or something, there is out-of-state tuition, but we have a partnership with Georgia to offer in-state tuition. So either way, you're not paying out-of-state tuition.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. We will take this up in just a few minutes, okay? Thank you. Okay, the next person on our agenda is Mr. Scott Sherman, Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency, to talk about McIntosh County Hazard Mitigation Plan kickoff.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, thank you for having me. I'll try to be brief. I could go real long if you want me to, but I'm just going to be pretty brief. It's time for your hazard mitigation plan update. It's required by law that it be updated on a 5-year timetable, and GMA's helped provide federal funding, support funding for this particular plan update. Some of the intricacies of what this planning is, it actually comes from the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000 that was codified in 2002. So we've been working this program since 2002. Y'all's current plan doesn't expire until 2018, but it does take a good period of time to get the plans done. With Patrick's assistance, I've met with the planning team that y'all elected to help work with y'all to get this plan update completed. I'd like to report that they're a very good group of people. I've talked with them, we've worked together already. They've seen our template that the state of Georgia provides and how we make the path easy to get this plan approved by FEMA. The first things that's going to happen is they're going to organize the resources, which they've already begun doing. Letters have gone out, invitations have been made. We had our kickoff meeting at 1 o'clock at the Emergency Operations Center this afternoon, and everyone is invited to attend. Please come because we need your help and support. There's a 25% match that goes with the grant that's funding this, and we have arranged that the match can be met entirely by local in-kind labor. So your employees and yourselves, your citizens that participate in the planning activities, we have documentation of their labor, and that's how we cover the 25% match. You don't have to get into the county's coffers to do this. And this is done also in conjunction with the city of Darien, because it was the easiest way to organize to meet the federal requirement of all political jurisdictions participate. So, and then y'all been doing this in the past, so it's just ongoing of what we do. So organizing the first step they'll begin taking as a planning committee is update the risk assessment. They'll evaluate the goals and action steps that have been done in the past and see what goals action steps have been met and what new ones they want to add on, because your physical environment keeps changing. They'll just account for this, and that's the heavy lifting that the planning committee will do, is do the research and ensure that the plan is ready to come to GEMA so we can send it on to FEMA for review and approval. This does ensure that the county and the city of Darien remain eligible for FEMA support in post-disaster activities, and y'all have some good experience with that, and y'all have a couple of write-ups that go into this plan that's current events, occurring in the past 5 years. So any questions you have, I am the advisor for hazard mitigation planning in Southeast Georgia, so any questions or anything else I can do for y'all?
Any questions from any of the commissioners or staff this time? And you did mention that the kickoff meeting will be at 1 o'clock at the EOC. I know there's a lot of people here today in attendance that may have thought there had been a meeting now, but
yeah, well, this is what we like to do as a courtesy,
right,
and actually get public with this meeting, and this afternoon's meeting is also a public meeting.
Right.
It's been advertised, so we're covering all the bases. We're making sure we meet all the requirements that the federal law requires.
absolutely.
So
We do appreciate you being here this morning and look forward to seeing you and getting this meeting kicked off at 1 o'clock today. Thank you.
good. Look forward to
And
seeing
thank
y'all
you for
later.
all those that turned out today for this same item. Okay, the next person on our agenda, the last on the presentation, is Mr. Ray Williams with Ray Williams and Associates. We're going to talk about county health insurance.
Well, good morning. Good morning. First of all, I want to thank the commission and especially for the help that Bill Watson allowed me to sort of start the process of talking to the commission about becoming the broker for the employee benefits for the county. And I appreciate your support for selecting my agency to do that. I'd like to just point out part of my agency is my wife Carolyn. She's attending today, and I hope all of you will get to know each of us. Matt Usher is also a part of our team. Matt will be attending meetings and strategy sessions when we get together with Ms. Davis and Mr. Fouts later this month, and so we can really get started. But part of our discussion up to now had been what to do about helping reduce the cost of the health care plan for the employees. And as you obviously aware, the cost is extremely high, and it's paid for out of tax that we all pay as citizens of the county. So there's an urgent need to try to address that. But as you're well aware, the cost of health insurance is going up dramatically all across the country. So what do we do about a singular program like the county employee plan? And that's what I think you've chosen us as the agency to try to help do something about. Obviously, you know, you can't terminate the plan, you can't terminate employees on the plan, you wouldn't want to do that. It's a great benefit, but we all need some insurance coverage to help pay for the thing along that line. We're certainly open to this, but
Any other questions for Mr. Williams?
I also want to thank Mr. Popple for helping us negotiate a contract very quickly so that we could really get things going. So that didn't go very long. Thank you.
All right, thank you for being here. Okay, the next item on our agenda is public hearings, and there are none. So next will be old business. There are none of that. There's none of that. So we'll move into new business. And the first item under new business is consider a memorandum of understanding with Troy University and authorize the county manager to execute it. Would the manager like to speak on that?
Yes, sir, I'll just kind of echo on what Kate told us. It's an added benefit for our employees. It gives them 10% discount on their tuition, and it waives all of their application fees. And the only things that we have to provide is literature to our employees about the program. We have to allow for to have 2 on-site meetings or webinars with our employees twice a year, just to educate them on the program, and then put a link for choice university.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions for the manager on this?
I think this is a great opportunity, and we should encourage our employees to
Take advantage of it.
further their education. And I think it's wonderful. And that said, I will offer the motion to approve the execution of this agreement.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Jordan. Any other further discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, the next item on our agenda is to consider appointment to the McIntosh County DFAX Board. Would the manager like to speak on that?
Yes, sir. I got a letter from Crystal Jones, the director of the McIntosh County DFAX, and we had a resignation from Mr. Andy Rogers a little while back, and she sent me a letter saying that Bill Strange wanted to fill that spot. Ms. Strange didn't send me a letter, but it got lost in the hurricane somewhere. So I did provide y'all with an email here.
Okay. And when we had advertised this earlier.
Yes, sir. We advertised several months ago and went live.
Okay. Well, I know Ms. Strange retired from DFAX, so she's probably well aware of what's going on there. Probably be a great appointment to that board. Would someone like to offer a motion on behalf of the recommendations before
I'll make
us?
that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Watson. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Williams. Any further discussion?
Yeah, who resigned? How many vacancies are there?
We have one, Mr. Andy Rogers resigned.
Enroll, okay, all right. Okay.
Any more questions? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, the last item on our agenda is a discussion item. It's to discuss Hurricane Matthew and debris removal, and I will open it up to the manager. And or the attorney.
This is basically just for y'all to talk about anything y'all want to talk about as far as the hurricane, and I will add the y'all an update on the debris removal.
Okay. I will definitely make some comments. I was going to save them for Commissioner's report or Chairman's report, but I just want to give a big shout out to all of our county employees, our manager, our attorney, the department heads, the road department, the sheriff's department. I hate to start naming people because you leave people out, but everybody stepped up and did an excellent job. I mean, it came on us pretty quick, and I was very pleased with our response times and the things that we did right. We did do a few things wrong, and we're going to learn from them and grow from them. But overall, I think the county has done an excellent job, and I appreciate all those that was involved. And the dairy news, absolutely. The dairy news was real good about getting out our press releases and everything. As soon as it hot off the press, it happened. They did it. They were spot on, and appreciate them staying here through the storm and getting those updates out there for us.
Well, I'm disappointed because it seemed that a lot of things that went on, I was left in the dark, and also called emergency management, and I didn't get no response. Or the response that I get, it wasn't respectful. So I think we have to make some improvement there. And also, the gentleman spoke about the Homeland Security. They're going to make some changes there, upgrade. But our SOP, have we looked at that in the last 3 or 4 years?
As far as the, in a state of emergency or
Yeah.
natural disaster? I'll say that we've looked at it. I don't know that we've actually made any changes to it, but we obviously looked at the operating procedure through this and reviewed it and tried to follow as close as we could. We did.
Well, I would like to, see, let the manager go through it again and see if there have to be any upgrading there. Like I said, everything worked out all right during Matthew. But then again, there was devastating destruction that went on in my district and other districts too. But then again, we're doing a good job on cleaning up everything. But then again, like I say, is that the response from emergency management did not meet my goal. Is what I'm saying. It's I think it have to be just a little bit more information given out to the commissioners, because the citizens of my district, and most of them are elderly, they're gonna ask me this, ask me that. So it's sad when I said I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I should know. Yeah. Because everybody left, my family left, everybody left with me. I stayed home.
You should have come and hung out with me.
Yeah, I should have.
You'd have been in the center of action.
Well, actually, I went out of my zone and they wanted to come back in. But since I knew McIntosh County, I was able to come back
You was
in.
able to navigate that in.
Yeah. That's
And we do realize there's some things that we're going to have to improve on, and as we had stated in the call meeting, that we'll address those issues and hopefully we'll learn from mistakes.
Well, it was a learning experience. I mean, it was unfortunate, but we did. I think all of us learned a lot. And you can't ever be 100% ready for a natural disaster. I mean, we anticipated, we knew what was coming, but still, as it unfolds, you don't really know exactly what's going to happen. And personally, I have to say, as you said, David, Mr. Stevens, excuse me, we'll strike that one. As you said, I think all in all, this county pulled together and really helped each other as we haven't in a long, long time. And I was very proud of everybody. I really was, and I think a lot of folks worked long and hard, and they should be commended.
I agree with Commissioner Watson, and I felt a little bit like Commissioner Jordan as well, but I think during our work sessions and in our call meeting last month, the chairman did say, we're going to take a step back after about a month and look and see what we did right and what we did wrong. And I think it's great timing that we've got the hazard mitigation plan coming up, and that's an opportunity to review some of those standard operating procedures. And we've got some experts in the room. Jennifer Klein from DNR is here, and she's the statewide expert on disaster redevelopment recovery. And so the ecological planning group is really excellent, GMA. So it's a good time for us to reflect and to redo these plans. It just happened that the timing was right to do those plans, but in light of what we've been through over the last few weeks, I think it's very fortuitous that those exercises are coming up. So, thank you.
Mr. Attorney, would you like to speak on the debris removal? I know you've kind of been heading that up with the contracts and whatnot.
Just briefly, Mr. Chairman, I would point out that we received a message this morning that as far as south of the Sapelo River, everything east of I-95 will be completed for the first round of debris removal. We still, please understand, I know there's still a lot of debris, but there will be, it's done in phases, and phase 2 is going to be the second round of debris removal, as well as the hangers and what they call hangers and leaners. Those trees that are leaning will need to be addressed, and trees that have branches hanging in them, that will be, you'll see bucket trucks all over the county in the next round, which should start next week, addressing those issues. It's a very expensive operation. Fortunately, FEMA works with us and reimburses us a significant portion of those expenses, and we're doing our best to keep up with it.
Well, thank you.
Those hanging branches and limbs, that would be on the right of way.
Yes, sir. The only work we do is on the right of way of county roads.
Yeah. In talking with you yesterday, you mentioned that FEMA would help the citizen
There's
with the removal.
There's a different, see, this is under public assistance, what the government does, the local governments. There's another branch of the FEMA recovery program called individual assistance, or IA. And the office is in Brunswick, and they can actually contact that office in Brunswick. They need to do it in a hurry. There's a very tight window for the application process. But the individual relief office is over in Brunswick, and I would urge them to contact FEMA there.
Do we have that contact information at our office?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if anybody needs that information for individual assistance, please reach out to the county commission office and we'll get that. And have we
It's
okay.
online.
It's online.
Sure.
Area news.
I would point out one other thing. We've set as a goal November 15th to be the last day you can place yard debris on the right of way for removal. So I'd urge everyone to make sure that all of the debris, the vegetative debris, the tree limbs and that kind of stuff is placed out on the right of way in accordance with FEMA guidelines so that we can come get it. The last day for that will be November 15th.
Okay.
One more thing is that we not touching anything on the state.
That's right. We don't play with the state right of ways. We only go into on county roadways. The state's actually responsible for that.
But will the state have a move, or are their intent is to come into Madison County?
Yes, sir, and they'll address their state right of ways. FEMA, we can't get reimbursed for it. If we do that work on state right of ways, we don't get reimbursed for it.
Any more questions or comments?
We're gonna get reimbursed 100%?
No, sir, I think the best we could do is probably 85. We'll probably be between 80 and 75%.
The quicker
We're
we
shooting for 85.
get it done, the more we get paid back.
Okay, so that's why I see you guys are driving fast.
Okay, all right, we appreciate that update and discussion. So, the last item under new business, is to consider the time of the December meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for this consideration. I would ask, there's a commissioner unnamed commissioner that has a conflict at 10 o'clock that morning of December 13th, the commission meeting. I can tell you she feels badly about that. But there's a schedule change at the college due to the hurricane days missed. And so if it pleases this board, I would offer a motion that we change our December regular meeting. The date will stay the same, but the time would be at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, if it pleases the board.
We'll put that in the form of
I did.
motion. Okay, in the form, okay. Okay.
On a December meeting?
The December meeting, yes, sir, it was scheduled for the 13th at 10 a.m. and we have a motion to move it to 2 p.m. that same day.
Or not. It could die tonight.
We do have a motion. Would someone like to second that?
I'll second.
All right, motion by Commissioner Spratt, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Is there any further discussion on that? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimously. Okay, that wraps up everything under new business. So we'll move into commissioner reports. We'll start with Commissioner Williams.
I'd like to thank Commissioner Stevens and the rest of the board on the
appreciation for everybody and working together on that. Most of all, thank the good Lord that we only got a collar put rather than card rather than a full blown of corn. But we should be, we're blessed on that one. And I look forward to continuing working with everybody and just remember, everybody can't be first, when this comes to our call. We have to follow procedures, based on what, since we're under an emergency, by what they call us. And see you next week. Thank you.
Commissioner Watson?
No, nothing really, just other than, I'm sure everybody's gonna be glad that this political thing is over for a while, because we've heard it for several months now. Other than that, that's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Jordan?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Commissioner Spratt?
I'll only say that I just want to personally thank the manager and the attorney for all their hard work and guidance, and particularly extend our sympathies on behalf of this board to our manager on the loss of his father, who was a very important and just a wonderful, respected citizen and community activist here, and served on a lot of our boards, and was a big part of our community, and we're all going to miss him tremendously. That concludes our report.
Thank you. The chairman's report, I basically said what I had to say about the storm, but I do echo your thoughts and feelings on the manager's dad, and we will miss him a great deal, and appreciate everything he did for this community and those that live in it. So with that, we will move into the manager's report.
No report, but I will let y'all know that we are going to have a tax assessor appointment next month. So if you want to start thinking about that, we will advertise this week and appoint them in December.
Okay. Does the attorney have a report?
No report and no need for executive session.
Okay, with that being said, then we will stand adjourned.